Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where I don't have it selected for OBS. Well, that's awkward. It'll show up in a moment. There we go. I absolutely should probably restart the recording, but I also can't be bothered. So that is fine. We're going to proceed forward here. We are currently preparing to invade Korea. Now, they're not in a faction. They remained democratic despite being over 50% communist, which I do think bodes ill for what could potentially happen with the UK. Hopefully they go fascist in November of next year. But we'll see. We'll see what their overall plan is there. I would also like to invade Turkey. I'm going to still hold off on justifying this war goal, though, until we have our war goal on Korea finished. Because I'm hoping that that will reduce the overall time by enough to make that worthwhile. 125 more days until we're done justifying on Korea, of course. And that will be just fine. In terms of constructions, those are well underway. We are doing quite well here, and we're just ticking on forward. We're going to be finishing up this infrastructure and these civilian factories soon enough, and then it's all of this anti-air defense. And that will be done actually fairly quick as well. So that'll be fine, and then I think after that we're going to prioritize radar next. I think that's going to be the overall goal. And then after radar, the question then becomes, what do we prioritize next? And I think at that point, it's coastal and land forts. I really do. So we're ticking right along over here. We have finished up our infrastructure, and we're making solid progress. Like, look at how quickly we're actually building here. That's a full screen of all 15 out of 15s. Of course, the next one, the very next one, is an 11. But, we can ignore that. Excellent. So we have about 541k manpower. We are recruiting a lot of garrison divisions right now. We're attempting to get our garrison divisions pretty maxed out here. We do need to get a few more over here. That needs to be 5 additional. And that will be absolutely fine. We are indeed... we are questioning Belarusian sovereignty, aren't we? Yeah, there's this one too. I had forgotten about this one. That's a ways away. And we have nobody on this front right now. I'm going to actually move these guys from the Russian front over to here. It would help if I selected all. There we go. And then we're just going to tell them to offensive line, like down here. There we go. That'll do the trick. Fantastic. So that's underway, and which army was that? This army. We'll tell them to go as soon as they have their war declaration. Great. So that is completely fine, and we could do a region-wide industrial integration. And I guess we'll go ahead and do that. We'll construct ourselves our civilian factory, looks like over here, in Hejaz. Okay. So let's scroll down to the bottom here as soon as this autosave is over. And that's actually in our vassal state. That's not what we want to prioritize. We want to prioritize this, in fact. There we go. Now let's go to the bottom. And Mozambique is what we prioritize. Fantastic. So we've got 3 additional civilian factories on their way in, and that is wonderful. We're extremely happy about that. That means that we almost have... Actually, we are going to have another maxed out construction speed here. That's great. We're very, very pleased with that. Of course, our justification on Turkey is going to cost a lot and be quite lengthy. So we need to keep that in mind. These guys here they can hop over into this unit, which now only needs 4 more divisions. That's great. What template are they using here? Okay. I mean, this isn't one of our templates, I don't think. This is one that the AI came up with on its own. So, fair enough. This is, of course, foreign troops, so... kind of an odd template. Lots of manpower in it, for sure. We don't have any technology to research, and we haven't for quite some time. We are still a little bit short on chromium, but mostly we're short on steel. And that has been the case basically this whole game. We're just continuing to be shorter and shorter on steel, it feels like. So let's take a look at our production here. We could probably scale back some of this production. Like, for example, support equipment. We could probably scale this back to being... honestly, something like this. That frees up some 25 military factories. And I honestly feel like we can scale these back to be something like this for right now as well. The rest of these, I think, are okay. We have a complete and total lack of steel down here. Okay. That's less okay. We'll bring that up to 5. And that means that we need to drop a bunch more military factories. And that's expected. We can always convert these back later if we decide we need to. But I'm just going to do... can we shift-click to do all of these? Ooh, control-click to convert in place at the beginning of the queue. I did not realize that. That will be handy. So we're going to get those queued up. So we'll control-click to place that at the beginning of the queue. Excellent. And we need to convert quite a number of these. That's 14 plus 9 there. Yeah, that's quite a lot. We are indeed questioning the motives of Korea. There's no doubt about that. Okay. That's probably enough for now. But we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll convert those on over. They don't appear to go away until we actually fully convert them, though. One of our agents deployed to the US has died. That's not shocking. It'll be 30 days until we can do anything else with that. The Argentine Republic, how are they doing? They're at 42% fascist right now. Let's see about boosting ideology over here. So now we've got both of these boosting ideology in the Argentine Republic. This guy is not actually making any progress here. Because of other operatives on same mission. Okay, that's good to know. That's very good to know, in fact. So that's not helpful to have both of them in the same place. Good to know. We do have some unassigned divisions here, 8 of them. I'm going to grab 4 of these, so we will deselect these 4, and they'll go into here. That now means that this army is maxed out and can be moved over here. Fantastic. And then these guys, they will hop in over here. We need 34, so only 5 additional into this army. That's great. Has this just not gone away? Yeah, that's just not gone away. So 5 additional, we'll get 4 over here soon enough. We are indeed questioning Korean sovereignty. How are we doing on our world tension? Oh, we're doing absolutely fine there. No problems right now. That's great. So this justification is about 96 days away from finishing. And the Korean justification, that one is closer. That one is currently 58 days away. Okay. Well, that should be fine. And if we need to ramp up this production later on, we can convert civilian factories. It's not a big deal. And I believe that we will want to ramp this up later on. For now, of course, we are just pumping these out, and that will be completely fine. Are we seeing some attrition somewhere? Perhaps. Yeah, okay. So what's going on here? Bottleneck ports in Yemen limiting to 30. Okay, we do have this naval base here that should give us 24, but it doesn't. I guess we need to think about building another naval base in Yemen. We'll just ramp that up at the beginning of the queue. Just so that we have supplies up here. I guess it's not a big deal. The Provisional Government of Nationalist South Africa. They're not ready yet. Also known as, I believe there are resources here. Yes, there are resources here that we want. Fantastic. So that will be absolutely fine. And the Gawar oil fields are still about 30 days away over there. We do want to recruit somebody, and that's a double agent commando linguist and escape artist. Honestly, there we go. That'll do. And let's, I think... Let's see, diplomatic pressure. What exactly does that do? Interesting. Player nations will get tightened restrictions to join other factions. Influence an AI-controlled nation to prefer your faction and non-aggression pacts. That's probably something that we should be thinking about doing. For example, with Kazakhstan. We'll just apply diplomatic pressure there. Excellent. And for Kazakhstan, how much do they need for this? Quite a lot. I've no idea what the diplomatic pressure cap is. We'll find out. We also probably want to improve relations with them if we're going to do this. So we'll get started on that. Okay. And then we have another 4 divisions here. We'll move them into this force. And of course that means we only need 1 additional division to max out this army. That's amazing. We're very happy about that. This one is indeed maxed. Okay. You can see that our manpower is indeed dropping, and that's because we're recruiting 16 of these at once. But the reason we're recruiting 16 of these at once is, of course, because we have spare manpower, and I want to get this filled out as quickly as possible. So we need 1 additional unit here. We need a lot here. A whole lot. And a lot here. 53 here. We need 23 here. So I'm going to move these guys to here, and then we'll just do this in, like, order of smallest to largest number of troops. Something along the lines of that. Okay. How are we doing on our justifications? Those should be done quite soon. Yes, only 21 days on Korea. And only... Math is hard right now. 36 days on Belarus. Sure. That'll be fine. Of course, Belarus is going to get full puppeted. And then Korea, we're going to take North Korea for ourselves with those sweet, sweet steel. And South Korea will get puppeted, since they don't have resources. Excellent. That will be the overall plan. How are we doing on our constructions? I mean, we've got a ways to go on these. But we are making progress. We can see over here, we have converted 4 factories so far. So that's great. We're quite pleased with that. And let's check our logistics chain right now. We are currently losing infantry equipment and motorized, and I believe that is because we're actually not producing any of those because of our steel shortage. Yes. So I think we're going to move these guys on up above the tank production. Yeah, we're going to be short on our tanks, for sure, for now, anyway, until we get additional steel. We could think about trading for the steel. That said, we're going to get some additional steel over here. That would be nice. I would like if we could develop some of our steel, or our iron mines, rather. But we haven't had the correct states for that, unfortunately. Hopefully we'll get some of those somewhat soon, but I'm not actually sure which ones can even be developed. And I actually think that we're going to put modern tanks as the lowest priority here. And we'll go with the special types of tanks first, since we do have many of those stockpiled anyway. I mean, we have a lot of stockpiled, right? So that's fine. Our justification for conquering Korea has finished. We're going to declare this, and we're going to hope that they don't join the Allies. They are technically democratic. We'll find out. Okay, so this army, not this army, this army is going to go ahead and launch their invasion. This shouldn't be a problem unless the Allies join. These guys are holding us off. At least for now. All of these guys want to join the war. We will accept that for all of these gentlemen. Fantastic. So enter is the shortcut for this. I'm just going to speed through it like so. All of our faction members wanted to join. Empire of the Thundercross? Empire of the Thundercross. Okay, that's exciting. We have this division here. They are going to join in over here, and that should max this army out. Yes. Wonderful. So next up is this one, which needs a total of 23 more units. That's going to take a little while. We did manage to push in over here. So that's great. What we need to do right now is widen this front, and it looks like that's exactly what's happening. We have a foreign tank division here that we can toss into this garrison force. I like it. That'll be just fine. And as far as our invasion of Korea goes, this appears to be going quite well. No real issues here. Got an overrun there. That's always nice to see. And we have indeed widened this front nicely. We're very happy about this, and we'll just let this keep going. In the meantime, of course, these guys want to lend-lease. We will accept. In the meantime, of course, we're going to be launching our invasion on Belarus over here. That one's going to be still in about 16 days. But we'll be ready for that. Can we run a war propaganda if we weren't having the bug? No, because we're not in an offensive war, but we could run this one. This one actually could be run. Okay, I need to remember how to do this. Let me look this up, actually. I shouldn't be looking this up on camera, but let me do this real quick here. So let's see here. War propaganda for bug. Okay. Yep. Here we go. Okay, and this needs to be... Here it is. Okay. No, not that. We need to do debug mode. That's not how you spell. Debug mode, and then... Decision, that's not how you spell either. Decision.nochecks. And that allows us to not do any of these, but rather to run this war propaganda, which we do qualify for. Despite what it says. It's a bug. And then we need to do decision.nochecks to turn that mode off. And then we need to subtract our 75 political power. And I did the plus there because that changed our speed. Okay, so the 75 political power comes out. There we go. And now we're running our war propaganda. Fantastic. Okay, so that is underway. And we'll just allow that to continue and run its course. Fantastic. So we're going to declare war on these guys soon enough. That one will be in 11 days. Sounds good. Korea is falling, as expected. We're not really in a rush for this, but we do, I believe, have an air force assigned to this. Yes, we do. So we do have some air cover over here, although the nearest airbase is quite a ways away. But we do have the range with jet fighters, so that'll be fine. We should probably think about upgrading our jet fighter Mark IIs, right? So let's go into here, find our jet fighter Mark IIs, or our Mark 1s rather. Our jet fighter 2 Mark 1s, and then I would like to edit that. We haven't edited this? Or is this the wrong one? Yeah, this is the one that we wanted to edit. So I don't honestly feel like range is all that important because we have plenty of range for jet fighters. So design is too expensive. Oh, we only have 36 air experience. Never mind. We'll let the air experience continue to work up. For some reason I was thinking this was air experience, but no, it's army experience. Okay, so we'll work our way through over here. This will be no problem. In the meantime, we are working up our war support, which is a very, very good thing to be doing indeed. And Kazakhstan, how are you doing on faction invites? Okay. Minus 300. Sure. We do have these 4 unassigned divisions, and we're going to pop them in over here. Excellent. That means that we only need 18 more. And we are now ready to declare on the Republic of Belarus. And so we shall. Fantastic. So this army should be immediately heading on in, and this should be no problem. So these guys will get puppeted. Would we be able to run war propaganda against these guys? I don't believe so. I think we can only run one at once. That's correct. Only one at once, based on my read of this tooltip anyway. So that's fine. We're not too concerned about that. We do want to start justifying against Turkey. Yeah, that'll be like 250 less days and less political power as well than it would have cost. So we'll just get started on that one. Excellent. Nationalist Spain wants to join this war. Okay. And we have another foreign division that we will go ahead and toss in over here. Wonderful. So that is all great, and we're going to have no problem pushing into either of these here, I think. Now, we are, of course, going to have to extend a garrison or create a new Korean garrison. One or the other. Oh, all of these guys want into the Belarusian war, and that's not particularly important. I mean, them being in any of these wars isn't particularly important, right? But them being in the Belarusian war is particularly not particularly important, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So who do we have garrisoning this force right now? Okay, so this army is already set up to garrison the Belarusian force, or the Belarusian region. So that means that their number of divisions will come up a little bit. These guys have forgotten that their order was to go all the way down there, so we're just going to tell them to do that. Their offensive line remains this. We want to select all and assign everyone to that force. There we go. So that'll be just fine. In the meantime, we do have these guys pocketed, so no problem there. They're going to get overrun. North Korea is pretty firmly in our control at this time. The real question is, who controls this? Korea. But wait, we control this province? Or do we just have control of the state? We may just have control of the state at this point. Yes, that is accurate. Okay, we're going to queue that up, but that's going to be a low priority. So we'll just continue pushing through. What is their current capital? Are they going to capitulate when we take this victory point here? Perhaps. Yeah, they are 100% towards capitulation. So it's just whenever the AI decides to get around to it. In fact, I think it's happening right now. Yes. Okay. So obviously, we're taking this state. And then we're going to puppet this down here. And we'll go ahead and end that turn. Done. Okay. So that brought us up to 29.5% world tension. That's okay. I do want to move this army to perhaps support our invasion of Turkey. Specifically, I might want to start up a naval invasion from here to, say, here, like this. Yeah, something along the lines of that. We'll get that started. No, I don't want to delete that order. We'll get that started, and we need to get this fleet to remove all of its orders and come over to the Black Sea and naval invasion support. There's allegedly no accessible regions, so we're just going to tell it, forget about the locations, and we are going to move to location. Oh, do we not have access through this strait? We don't. Right. We don't have access through the Dardanelles or through the Bosphorus Strait. So that's fair enough. We're going to move down to the Aegean. And I would like to talk with these gentlemen and be like, hey, can we get access? The answer is no. However, their opinion of us is maxed because we're trade partners. They wouldn't even accept a non-aggression pact. Okay. So this is obviously not going to work. This is not going to work. So these guys, instead of doing this, they're going to have to do a naval invasion from elsewhere. Perhaps attacking from the south here. Yeah. That's going to be awkward. We'll decide what we want to do with these guys in the next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time. The North Sea Empire, huh? Well, isn't that interesting?